Hey everyone, thank you again for stopping by. Today we're going to do something a little bit different than we normally do. We won't be venturing outside, it's pretty cold here in Missouri, but today we're going to be doing a review, well not really of a review, but an unboxing of something that we're pretty excited about, and that is the Oru Inlet Foldable Kayak. Stick around. So if you're not really familiar with our channel, we typically like to venture out. We love the outdoors, we love getting out in the elements, having a lot of fun. All of us are pretty avid kayakers. No, we're not, sporting. We're not going out there and actually competing in anything. It's really just leisure. We don't fish, we don't do anything like that, but we do enjoy getting on the water. We have some videos that we'd love to have you watch, and if you'd like to, please let us know. But anyway, the thing that we have always thought about is it's not always easy to hook up a trailer, which we do have, and it's not always easy to travel with it because you have to worry about theft, you have to worry about additional issues that can happen on the road. So sometimes we think about, boy, it would be easier just to be able to be a lot more mobile and a lot more flexible, and we thought this would be a great option. So what this is a foldable 9.5 inch or 9.5 foot foldable kayak. And we went with the black edition, which is new. So we thought we'd give this a shot. We bought two, but I'm gonna go ahead and unbox and show you one of them and see what all came with it. We did order the one that's a bundle, and I think it has a backpack that you can wear. So we're gonna go ahead and show you that and unbox it. All right, so let's get started. Okay. So they've done a really good job. It's really nice. They have a saying here, welcome to the Oru Kayak community. Your first time in assembling your kayak will take longer. Read the entire manual before building your kayak. Manuals and guides, right? And it gives their web address here. Let's see. So, just for starters, we also went with purchasing the oars or the paddle, whichever you prefer. So just kind of getting started right on top. I can see the backpack that came with it. I'll put that aside for just a minute. And it looks like the paddles come in a bag, which is helpful. All right, put that aside. Looks like there is a welcome package, which has the manual and getting started type stuff, and maybe some extra parts it looks like. So set that aside for now. And I think all that's left in here is the kayak itself. So let's go ahead and pull that out. Of course, everything falls out with it. Looks like there is some swag. Looks like some stickers and some reflective tape. I'm not sure what that is yet. Maybe we'll find out. And that is what is in the box. We'll go ahead and set that aside for now. Okay, here it is. I tell you, that's super light. I think I read it's 20 pounds, which I'll believe it. It is very light. A lot more compact than I thought it'd be. Yeah, this is great. I love the black. A little concerned of when you fold it and bend it along the creases that eventually will turn white, which I'm sure it will, but I'm just curious over time what that's going to look like. And I'll go ahead and put the neat knife in. Set that aside for a bit. And I'll bring up the paddles here. And the backpack. So here's the contents of that box. Okay. All right, right, this is great. I'm gonna go ahead and again set these aside. I just wanted you guys to take a look at everything that was in there. Set these aside. Set the bag aside. Our swag. Now, I'm gonna do what most guys, and I shouldn't say that. I think what most people don't like doing. I'm gonna take out the manual, how to do this thing. And let's see. So there's an owner's manual, and there is a assembly and disassembly guide. So you got two different manuals in there. Of course, this is our biggest concern here. And here's the owner's manual, and we'll just go through a few highlights. We won't go through the whole thing. I'm sure you can get this online and look at it yourself. But anyway, let's start with assembly. And got a pretty neat little kayak help guide here. It says contact us. Dog tips, which is great because we'll definitely use that. But at any rate, that comes in the box too. Set that aside. Okay, let's get started. So, assembly guide says getting familiar, kind of goes through some of the parts that are going to be inside. A little bit of inside knowledge. I've already seen these before, but it's a good idea that I just cover that. So there's going to be some parts in here. So step one, open box. Done. Okay, so we're going to start off by opening this guy up, which it says open up the two buckles on the top. I guess they're calling this the box, which is the kayak. And right away, great build quality. Wow, okay, so just kind of open this up a little bit. What you see here is, without going into too much unfolding, I would imagine with the angle that this is the front of the kayak, or the bow, or whatever you want to call it if you're nautical. And wow, this is really, really great build quality. Looks like it is a plastic, but it's all double stitched. Everything in here looks somewhat riveted. Obviously it's not metal, so I wouldn't say ultra tight, but it's great build quality. So far so good. All right, step two. Unfold and push out the folds, okay? All right, so we'll go ahead and unfold it. Push out the folds, okay. All right, I see it. Oh, looks like we got some parts in here. Let's go ahead for a second and let's remove these just so we don't get them confused with anything else. Set them aside for just a minute. One of them's obvious to see. So, folds. Okay, so I'm going to turn this to the camera so you can see it. So there are some push-in fold lines. I would imagine they pop out, which probably gives it the angle that you need for the kayak. But obviously, to fold it, you need to get away with from that angle, so that makes sense. And as I suspected, this is the front or bow, and this is the stern or the back. So let's take a look at folding these out. So looks like we got to push along this crease here. So we'll do that now. Wow, it's a lot tougher than you think. Okay, that makes sense. And it did say in the manual the first time you do this, you're going to be a little bit tougher. So it'll get better along its the lifetime of having it. And in the rear, there's also that same fold. It is much tougher than you think, so be prepared for that. Yes, it's going to pop right back out. Okay, knock out the front side there. Spin this around. Do the same here. Wow, those are tough. I better just get in from the inside. Wow. Yeah, so the first time you do this will take longer because That build quality is great, and these folds do not want to work with you the first time. So just keep that in mind when you purchase yours. Here's the part where I realized I forgot to hit record for the rest of it. So here you're gonna see you just push out the folds like that. She's doing a lot better than I would have or did when I did it for the video. So here we are, we're gonna insert the bulkheads. That's gonna be the front, and that's the footrest that she's holding there. And I'm gonna put in the aft bulkhead. And here we see how you would adhere the frame, and here's how you fold it over. You always want to make sure that the flap goes over. There you go. Now, looking this thing over, this is the seat. Now, keep in mind, this is not really meant for the fisherman, the sportsman. This is definitely a leisure type vehicle. So, I should say craft. So, I worry about the long-term use, many hours of this. I could be wrong. It could be great, could be very comfortable, but we'll see. So you lift this guy up here. Now on the inside, there is a bungee type material which fits in this little slot here. So let's take a look here. And yeah, that fits pretty snugly in there, as you can see. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does the job. So, all right, and we'll put the back in. Now, there's I guess like a slot that you pull back on this. Yeah, okay. You pull back on this, and there's a groove on this side that'll fit into. So, done here real quick. It's pretty inventive. It does. It kind of snaps right in. So, okay. Dropped our assembly here. Okay. Scissors are done. Okay, so connect buckles and tension straps. So this yeah, so in the back, there's a tension strap, which probably adds to, yeah. Okay, so as you pull on this, you can physically watch the spot where you are going to be sitting in tighten up, which helps the hull integrity. So that's good. Looks like there's one here. Front. No, okay. So there's only one in the back. Probably because the footrest looks like they connect, and that helps the integrity of the front. So there was a back strap, and I'll move this around, and in the footrest, oh, okay, so that's, okay, that makes sense. So the footrest connects to straps here, here. Now what I assume that does is two things. That will increase the tension in the front, helping that whole integrity, and will bring the footrest forward. So yeah, so if you tighten this guy up, it does in fact bring the footrest forward, so when you're seated in it, you know, you got your footrest here, and these are part of the collapsing of it. So imagine these would go stowed away. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. But yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. So now it's looking like a kayak. Let's see here. So these are the straps that when you actually fold it up, you use to collapse it. So they have Velcro on each side here. That. So you can stow it away when you're actually using it. Okay. So, yeah. So on the seat in the back, there you go. That's what this is for. So there is a snap on the back of the seat rest, so you can actually put pressure when you're seated here. So that's what these are for. Makes sense. So now, should you want to lay back, you've got tension from those straps and of course your footrest. So that's really good. All right. What do we have next? That's it. So now they want you to do some final adjustments. You would want to make sure that every part of the process you've been through is nice and sturdy, and things are actually assembled correctly, which we can see now we do. We've got the angle that we want for the stern, where it flaps over. And the same thing can be said for the bow. We got the flap over. That's great. Yeah, I mean, guys, I wish I could tell you the build quality is incredible. I mean, it's so strong. You're definitely going to have to work with it to get it to fold the way you want it to. Of course, what you got here is you've got the inside where you sit. There's plenty of room. Obviously online and even in their brochures and their literature, there's pets in here, so it's pretty sturdy. I worry a little bit about some of the, so if you look at the back side here, you know, you're gonna get scratches. There's just really no way around it. It's got some channels, obviously, for water to go through. But you know, guys, for the intent of what you need it for, this is fantastic. I mean, this is, by all means and purposes, a complete kayak at the size you would normally put on a trailer that you're going to have to figure out how to get back and forth. So, no, this is fantastic. And I'll just real quick show you the paddles that come with it. You don't always normally get these. This was something we did add on later. And I think the reason we did that, now we do have paddles for our normal kayaks, which we could have just used those and recycled. But I think the reason we went with this is that it's a lot more compact. You've got, yeah, so what you've got is, so what you've got is, of course you get the brand, which is nice, Oru Kayak, that's all fine, great. Not the reason we went with it though, but you have a much easier collapsible paddle. Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, so if you don't know much about kayaking, and if you do, great. If you don't, great as well. But your length of your body and your kayak come into play with how long you want your paddle. Trust me, there's a ton of videos out there that you can adjust on your own. So you go through here, tightens that up, and then you assemble your paddle. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to hit the water like this. You know, you can adjust it, but as you can see, you take a very long paddle and collapse it down. So it's fantastic, and that's the reason why we went with it. Is it just makes collapsing it down and travel a whole lot easier. I mean, I just took an entire paddle and collapsed it down just like that. You're not going to see that in every paddle. You're just not. So